Hey, Professor Feander. This is Jack Malloy. And this is my video essay. Just about this class and how it's kind of changed my point of view a little bit. And how I see space and home, especially. But as far as my entry, I'm pulling from chapter three. Definitely one of chapter three of The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. In the second part. It comes from Dr. Copeland's perspective. It says, many times Dr. Copeland talked to Mr. Singer. Truly, he was not like other white men. He was a wise man, and he understood the strong, true purpose in a way that other white men could not. He listened, and in his face there was something gentle and Jewish, the knowledge of one who belongs to a race that is oppressed. On one occasion, he took Mr. Singer with him on the rounds. He led him through cold and narrow passages smelling of dirt and sickness and fried fatback. He showed him a successful skin graft he made on the face of a woman patient who had been severely burned. He treated a syphilitic child and pointed out to Mr. Singer the scaling eruption on the palms of the hand, the dull, opaque surface of the eye, the sloping upper front incisors. They visited two-room shacks that housed as many as 12 or 14 persons, and a room where the fire burned low and orange on the hearth. They were helpless, while an old man strangled with pneumonia. Mr. Singer walked behind him and watched and understood. He gave nickels to the children, and because of his quietness and decorum, he did not disturb the patients as he would have another visitor. This passage to me is just one of the many passages we've read that just highlights that, we can help our community more than we think. Especially, you have two characters in that. You have Dr. Copeland and you have John Singer. John Singer, obviously deaf and mute, can't do much in terms of communication wise, except for observe. But observing and trying to help through what you observe is more than nothing. And I think that's what we kind of fail to understand as a society. Just by observing, we can help. Even if we're not, Dr. Copeland, if we're not, helping everybody and curing diseases and, curing that syphilitic child. And, that kind of leads me into my next point, which is, every village has its idols. As we see in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, people look up to Dr. Copeland, and people also looked up to Dr. Singer in absolutely different ways. But, in every small town, in every, tiny village, there are always powerful people that we can look up to. And I think those powerful people, what I've learned from this class is that those powerful people, if they make a good example, then they can lead their village to growth and so for them to thrive. Especially, we see that also in, Pioneers with, Alexander Bergson becoming just, this figurehead of, the divide. But, we also see, every village kind of has its enemies. We see, and, we have always lived in a castle, how, everyone hates the Blackwoods, and, how, like, they are just completely ostracized from society because they are so thought down upon, which is despite their wealth, which is, interesting because, most of the time in the text that we've read that the wealthy people are, loved and admired. But, I think if I've learned anything from this class, it's just that home is a place to thrive. No matter how small, we've traversed some, tiny settings in our text, even like, the lawyer's office and Bartleby the Scrivener. And, the Divide's not a big place. Yeah, all these tiny towns that we kind of focus upon. Everyone found ways to thrive, and found ways to succeed. And I think that's, a lesson that we can take with us, down the road and, throughout life. No matter how small of a setting we are in, we can really succeed if we just, use innovation and use our creativity, which is heavily seen in Pioneers. But, I really enjoy this class. I think it taught me a lot about just home and space and, how we can traverse those things. But that's about all I got. It's been my video essay. I'm Jack Malloy. Thanks for a great semester.